Hi guys, Alod here with another Dark Magician build. This time it's Dark Magician Bystial branded. Yes, I'm going back to that because it probably is, for me certainly, the most consistent way of playing Dark Magician, especially when you're wanting to get Red Eye's Dark Dragoon out. So here's my current build. I've been doing test hands. I find it pretty much every single test hand I do that I get Dragoon out. And there is a few more spicy kind of tech cards in here, so anyway, here it is. 2 Dark Magician, as usual. Don't ever do 1. Although Dark Magician Girl isn't in this build, but is in the side deck. But I suppose that kind of depends if you're going to be having friendlier matches or you're going to be playing Snake Eyes. If you're playing against Snake Eyes, you probably want to take DMG out because it's just a brick you won't need. So, 2 Illusion of Chaos. 1 Tamiasi the United Dragon, because we just haven't got a better fusion card yet. 1 Magician's Rod, because you either only need 1 or you can just recycle it. And even if that does get banished, well, you're probably not going to want to set up the Dark Magician Triangle against the current meta anyway, when you can get, in this build, Red Eye's Dark Dragoon or various other cards out that will help you more, and it will be a bit more better and more consistent. 3 Magician Souls, 2 Fallen Avalbars, 1 Blazing Cartesia the Virtuous, 1 Jaugen the Spiritualist, 1 the Bystial Lubellion. I do like 2. I may go back to using 2, but at the moment I'm just trying to keep my deck down to 40 cards and trying to make it as consistent as I possibly can. So just the 1 for now. The 1 Bystial Magnuma, 2 Bystial Druis Worm, because I like the idea that it can remove from the field and send it to the graveyard. It's a little bit like a worse version of Zeus, if you like. 1 Ash Blossom and the Joyous Spring. Not a big fan of Ash, but you know, needs must. 2 Nibiru, though I am thinking about upping that to 3. Certainly against the current meta. And Ash does help you out quite a lot if you are playing against something else like Branded, like other Dark Magician players, or cards that rely heavily on a specific card to draw. Or if you're facing against Fluonderies and, you know, you Ash the Rubina, that's them pretty much done. But against Snake Eyes, they can play through it. You don't want to waste your Ash on 1 card, only then for them to set up Dia Bellstar in a trap, or to go in and then still end up with Appaloosa. Now for the spells. So Magician Salvation, Dark Magical Circle. I did used to play 2, but I just find that 1 is just all I need. Really, that really just is it. 2 Soul Servant, because 3 just creates a brick, I find, and even when it doesn't, I find that I never ever use 3, so stick to 2. Secrets of Dark Magic, because again, even though it's not very good, it's the best fusion card we have, and the setting up the Dark Magician, the Illusion of Chaos to the field to bring back the Dark Magician and negate, it just doesn't happen that often. And if you are running that in like the Ritual Dark Magician deck, you might want to use that spell card that allows you to send Dark Magician from the deck to the graveyard to special summon, you know, your level 7. I can't remember what you call it. I'll just bear with me one moment. I do have my other cards at the side of me, so it shouldn't take me long to find that out for you. Just need to find out where my ritual build is. And yes, even though I had Kashtira in this build last time round, I'm not using Kashtira this time because I've gone straight to Branded. Though Kashtira in DM is pretty good, especially if you're using Xyz monsters, which I'm not. Ah, here we are. So where's that lovely spell? Sorry to keep you waiting, guys. That's the one. Advanced Ritual Art. So if you're using the Ritual build, you'll want to use that. Send DM to the graveyard to keep IOC on the field as such, which allows you that extra negate and special summon if you've got Circle. But again, that's a different build for a different time. You want to check out those combos? Go see Dodo. Go to his channel. You'll find out some absolutely fantastic Ritual Dark Magician builds. 2 Preparation of Rites, 3 Branded Fusion, 2 Super Poly, though it might be advisable to pop that to 3, 1 Call by the Grave. Barely ever goes into my hand, to be honest. But it is what it is. It is a good card to get rid of hand traps. We can only use 1, so why not? 2 Forbidden Droplet. I'm using this primarily with the with the Bystial cards, as it's basically just another thing for Druid Worm. So you special summon Druid Worm and you've got Forbidden Droplet on the field already. Say it's your opponent's turn, you've got Forbidden Droplet on the field. You then banish one of your cards to bring on the field. They use something like, I don't know, Ash. Snake Eyes Ash, for instance. You activate Forbidden Droplet. You negate it by getting rid of one of your cards or something like that. You know, they've got more than one monster, for instance. You then... It's basically like negating and getting rid of a card off your opponent's side of the field. So it just really does help with that kind of thing. You know, when I start doing some videos again from Omega, I'll show you. Branded Regained, because in this build, things like D-Shifter, honestly, it helps against cards like that, because you're going to end up banishing cards using it with Branded Fusion. They think like, oh, you know, they've got one over you, but you're doing that. Bring out Lubellion, then send the banished cards back into the deck to bring out Dragoon. You've then got something like this on the field anyway, which allows you to add a card that was banished back into the bottom of your deck, then to draw a card, so you've still got that negate for Dragoon. And then you get to special summon Bystial cards as well. It just, honestly, in this build, it really, really does help. I would advise you perhaps taking this build to something like Omega. You can't do it on Master Duel because Branded Fusion is at 1, Druid Worm's at 1, so that probably won't help you that much. But yeah, try it on Omega, Dueling Book, whatever you can, basically. 1 Terraforming, because again, for some reason, that is banned on Master Duel. So again, if you're taking this build to Master Duel, you're going to have to add Metaverse, and it's just, honestly, I've tried it, it's just nowhere near as good. 1 Foolish Burial. That is because there are times where you are going to want a certain card in the graveyard, such as, say, if you have Magnamot on the field already, so you're going to use its effect to get you Druid Worm. You've got no cards in your graveyard as such, because you've already banished your Magician Souls to bring out your Druid Worm, right? You activate Foolish Burial to then send the Bystial Lubellion to the graveyard, then get rid of your Magnamot, send that to graveyard to bring out Lubellion, and then bring out the Branded Regained. See, it just helps. It's not a card I'm fond of, but it actually does help. And now for the 2 traps. Eternal Soul. Not great again. I do like the new Shining Sarcophagus stuff. Perhaps that is a way to play Dark Magician without the burden of Eternal Soul. But we can still use Circle, because that may, when that Dark Magician or whatever the hell it's called is then brought from the graveyard to the field, you still get that banish. As well as your other Shining Sarcophagus shenanigans. 2 Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. 1's fine. 3's only good if you're playing Dragoon Turbo. 1 Lubellion the Searing Dragon. 1 Albion the Branded Dragon. 1 Mirror Jade the Iceblade Dragon. 1 Albion the Sanctified Dragon, because why not lock our opponent out of special summoning with the Jowgen lock if we can. This card I want to talk about, Magnum the Reliever. Now, in this build, you can use your Secrets of Dark Magic if you've got a fusion card on the field and Dark Magician in your hand, or Dark Magician Girl, whatever, to bring this out. Now, this is actually a decent card, and it reads: 1 monster special summon from the extra deck, doesn't matter, fusion, Xyz, Synchro, Link, doesn't matter, plus 1 monster in the hand, which in that circumstance would be Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl. You can target 1 polymerization spell or fusion spell in your graveyard, place that card at the bottom of your deck, then draw 1 card. When another card or its effect is activated, quick effect, you can banish 1 polymerization or fusion spell from your graveyard, then target 1 card on the field, destroy it. You can only use the effect of Magnum the Reliever once per turn, and that is because I have Branded Fusion in here. Obviously it doesn't work with Secrets of Dark Magic because it doesn't have polymerization, mention it, or have the word fusion in its name. So I'll be banishing Branded Fusion to basically get rid of one of my opponent's monsters, which is still going to help. Garura, Wings of Resonant Life, because, you know, Snake Eyes is practically just fire type, and, you know, the same attribute. Mud Dragon, King of the Swamp, for those pesky little cards that aren't. So I believe that Promethean Princess is a fire type fiend, and because all of Snake Eyes is fire type, you can just banish that and then bring this card out and then just declare dark so they can't target your dark monsters. Chaos Angel, because even if they negate Rod and use special summon Dark Magician, you can still bring this out, not needing a tuner, and then to banish a card, and it's pretty strong. 1 Wallow, Founder of the Judge Dragons, because your Bystial cards, barring the Bystial Rebellion, are level 6, so that really, really does help. And this card allows you to return a card to the deck, or if it targets a monster, special summon face up, face down position to your field on the set field. So let's have a look. So monsters you control gain 100 attack, which is just good anyway, for each card in your opponent's graveyard. Quick effect. You could target 1 card in your opponent's graveyard and detach 1 or 2 materials from this, then activate the appropriate effect. So if they start sending cards like Prometheus Princess to the graveyard, you can then activate this card by banishing 2 to either return it to the deck and just waste it, or banish 2 cards and special summon it to your side of the field and just waste their plays, which is completely up to what you use. Artemis, the Magister's Moon Maiden. Dark, the Dark Charmer Gloomy. Selene, Queen of Master Magicians. Now, the reason why I've still got this, as opposed to Hater, I think it is, the Fire Charmer, is basically because people are still running Diabellstar, which is why, if you've not noticed, I haven't put Secret Village of the Spellcasters in the main deck, because pretty much everybody's running Diabellstar at the moment, so it kind of makes that redundant. And then Access Code Talker, because it does help. Now on to the side deck. 1 Master of Chaos. Depending on the build, depending on your match, you might want to use that because it's good for banishing, especially considering there's lights and darks in this deck. The Dark Magicians, because Dark Magician Girl's also in this side deck. 2 DD Crow. One effect failure, again, light type spellcaster. So if that's the best you've got in your graveyard and you bring out... no, wrong one, this one. You can just bring this back and use this and then just banish to get rid of your opponent's side of the field. Two triple tactics talents, because just why not? Everyone seems to be acting effects in your turn anyway, so you might as well either ditch a card out of the round, take control of it, or draw two. On secrets, Village of the Spellcasters, in case you're facing somebody like... God, barely anyone uses that many spells anymore. Sky Striker. Lightning Storm. Again, which is really good, even against Snake Eyes, because if you Nibiru them, and they've got 2 cards in their spell and trap card zone, usually going to be something along the lines of IP Masquerena and Flamberg, you can just put them. You can just put them back in the graveyard. I haven't said that. If you got that, you can't use it, but you know what I mean, guys. You're not stupid. You Dark Magician players, you'll know exactly what I'm referring to. 3 evenly matched, depending on the match you want to go to, and depending on how much you want to punish your opponent, might be advisable. And because it banishes face down, who cares if you're using it against Flunder? 2 Imperm, which you could really main deck against Snake Eyes, because that will help you out quite a lot. And for my tokens, 1 Nibiru token and 3 other tokens, just in case. And when you go into locals, you might want to take some of these extra sleeves in case they rip, tear, or you get some random kid with like greasy fingers who just wants to rub his hands all over your cards. Alright, thanks for watching, guys, and I will do the hand tests now. Alright guys, so here's the test hands. Right. Again, assuming we're going first and nobody has Ash or whatever, or if they draw, who cares, because we got 2 Branded Fusion. So, doesn't matter even if they do have Ash, or if they have draw. Just, this is a good way to play around draw, to be quite honest, because I wouldn't even bother using that card, because Branded Fusion, you're going to pitch DM, and you're going to pitch Fallen of Albaz, to bring out Bellion. You're going to then send Lubellion back based on its sound effect by pitching a card. Pointless getting rid of Branded Fusion, and I would just pitch Souls to then send that card back and Dark Magician back to bring out Dragoon. You've got 3 cards in hand, so you're going to place this down. You're going to use them to, if you're going to pitch Branded Fusion and Nibiru if you're really at a point where they've got rid of your Dragoon anyway. Now, when it comes to negating effects, remember this can't be targeted. So don't fall into the trap of going, oh no, I need to negate this straight away. No, wait for something as an original Sinful Spoils, the one that puts it down here, that's non-targeting, that puts it into your spell and trap. Yeah, so wait for that card before you start wasting this card's effect. Remember, can't target it, so your opponent can't destroy it with card effects. They'd have to go do something like the Zeus or some sort of non-targeting removal to get rid of it. And while they're wasting their cards, like sending like Prometheus to the Princess of the Graveyard, just use that to banish Promethean Princess, just to kind of annoy them a little bit. You know, I'm acting like everybody's snake eyes, but they are, so. Okay, next test hands. You're not always going to end up with good hands, or hands that allows you to get anywhere. That's just giving me the same hand, I'm not going to do that again. 5 cards. Oh, see, Nibiru just loves my hand. Right, okay, first of all, pitch this. They generally get scared thinking you're going to do something like you've got tier elements or some sort in your deck, but you're not. See, look at the cards that you have in your hand. What you're going to pitch is the Bystial Rebellion. Then what you're going to do is you're going to add Branded Fusion. And you're going to send Dark Magician and Albaz to the graveyard. This card. You're going to then pitch this card to the graveyard to bring out Dragoon by sending back your Dia, your Dark Magician, and Rebellion. You're then going to pitch this, special summon it to the field by sending Dark Magician back to the graveyard. Wondering why I wasted a few Foolish Burial on Rebellion? That's because I've got something in my head. That's because I'm stupid, guys. So you'd actually send Dark Magician and Albaz to the graveyard. Just realising that you can actually use its level 6 or higher. Dark Dragon, that's actually a good point. Dark Dragon said no you can't, so no you don't. So you do send that back. What am I like? This is why you need to read cards, guys, honestly. Really need to start reading cards. Oh, practice what you preach, our lord. Then you're going to banish Soul Servant. So you got that Nibiru in your hand, and oh, a second Nibiru. Okay, so you got a wasted Nibiru and a Nibiru. One for Dragoon, one just because you can. You've used Branded Fusion, so you can't use any other side deck except Fusion, which we don't have anything to fuse. Probably could have done that play a lot better. That one probably was just a waste of a Foolish Burial, but you get the idea. Could have had a Druid Worm in my hand or something. And because I'm not using Dark Magician Girl in this, it probably wouldn't have been that good anyway. So right, okay. Another test hand. Okay. This is trash, but I'll try. So trash, but I'll try. Okay. Timmy was level 6, that would probably make it a lot easier because I could just special summon that by pitching this card. Can't spend that because there's nothing in the graveyard. So this, guys, is a crap hand. So in this circumstance, what you would do is special summon Timmy, send that card to the graveyard. Keep these 3 cards in hand because you can't do anything. You haven't got a Dark Magician. You're going first, so that's of no use to you. And the only option you have is if they send Timmy to the graveyard to use special summon this, which will allow you to then get Druid Worm at the end of their turn. Interesting. So we do end up with bad hands. See, Dark Magician best deck, but Dark Magician brick. Now here's an interesting one. That's because if I had Dark Magician Girl in my build, so if I swapped out a card for Dark Magician Girl, I could send this to the graveyard, bring out Dark Magician Girl, then summon this, and then I've got both effects of Chaos Angel. Plus a draw. But I don't. So this is what we're going to do. First of all, what we're going to do is activate Dark Magical Circle and then Soul Servant. To add Magician Salvation to the top of our deck, you give your deck a shuffle. You then look at the top 3 cards. Okay, I'm going to add Salvation. I haven't got them 2 cards, so they're going back in the deck anyway. I'm going to activate that to give you Soul Servant, Eternal Soul even. You're then going to activate this to pitch Dark Magician to the graveyard. You're then going to send this to draw 1 card. Oh, Branded Fusion, how helpful. So now what you're going to do is you're going to activate Branded Fusion. To send Dark Magician Albaz to the graveyard. Bring out Dragoon. Oh, sorry, a bit premature. Bring out Lebellion. Add one of the 2 Dark Magicians that you've got in the graveyard to the top of your deck. And shuffle. You're going to be adding Lebellion back to the extra deck to bring out Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. Oh, remember you had the pitch card, so pitch this. Then what you're going to do is you're going to activate Preparation of Rites to add Rod to your hand. Summon Rod. And then you're going to no, that's wrong. I do apologise, guys. Add Preparation of Rites to bring Illusion of Chaos. You use Illusion of Chaos to bring out Rod. Put Rod in your hand. Put Illusion of Chaos back. Summon Rod. And then you're going to get out your second, I should say, second Soul Servant. Remember, guys, not use Soul Servant's effect yet. So now I'm going to banish my Soul Servant to add an extra card in my hand. So now I've got 2 cards in my hand. And I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, okay, during the end phase of the graveyard is turned, blah, blah. No, the ones sent to graveyard were sent back. So you've still got 2 cards in your hand, and Blazing Cartesia stays in the graveyard. So you've got DM Triangle, 2 cards in hand, Dragoon on the field, and 2 extra bodies, which is probably pretty good, to be quite honest. Even with my lack of reading for a change. Normally I know exactly what I'm doing, but you know, it's what it is. Sometimes we just can't be bothered to read. Okay. Draw 5 cards. Now this is a bloody good starting hand. So 2 Super Polys, an Ash, and a Bystial Druid Worm. So you're going to pitch these 2 down. Got 2 Super Polys. Then what you're going to do is you're going to keep these 3 in your hand. you'll probably use one of these to get rid of that. To bring out that. Because guaranteed most decks these days are like same type, same thing. Unless you're facing Kashtira, then it is what it is, bro. Wait for them to get rid of that, so they'll probably pop that. Special summon that, so you draw a card anyway. That card we can't set it because it's not your turn anymore. Activate this card. You know what would be really good? If you did activate this and you did pitch, say, I don't know, say you got rid of Ash, no, don't get rid of Ash, because you're playing against Snake Eyes, we'll just use it and go into Princess and whatever and other shenanigans, get rid of Droplet. But say if they did have Diabell Star, what you could actually use is Mysterion in that case, because it's a dragon and a spellcaster. Therefore, you fuse them two together, bring out Mysterion, they start special summoning, you activate Mysterion's effect and banish what they special summoned. Remember that has to kind of special summon itself, so like pyro types and whatnot, you might get away with special summoning to banish. Okay, one more test hand. Yeah, again, trash. I don't know what it is. I suppose it's just everybody's luck. It's a little bit like Master Duel, isn't it? Sometimes it's just one of those cases where you're like, crap time. So, what can we do with this? That sets Eternal Soul, and... oh. Turn ended. Not good. Try that again. You see, this is more like it. This absolutely is more like it. Because what you're going to do is, you're going to Foolish Burial DM into the graveyard. You're then going to activate Bystial Rebellion. Sorry, yeah, the Bystial Rebellion to add Magnum. You're then going to activate Magnum to banish DM. Don't worry, I have a plan. You're then going to activate that to get Druid Worm in your hand. You're then going to go boom, send that to graveyard for that card. That card's then Branded Regained is then going to send your DM to the bottom of the deck to draw one card. Another Branded Fusion. You're then going to activate Branded Fusion. I'm going to pitch DM and Albaz. Wherever my Albaz is. There we are. For Rebellion. You're then going to send Rebellion with cost. With cost. Timmy. So you're going to send this card and DM back again. The reason why I always send that because that's just the easiest way to get Dragoon out. So if you need to do it again next turn because you've got Brand of Fusion in your hand, then so be it. So then these two back respectively at the top, and remember Magnum to its effect, so you've got these three cards in your hand next turn. So yeah, you do get it. It's a lot easier to get a good. Also, I believe thinking about people misplaying I think it was Squid's channel or Duolog's channel. Something to do with if you actually negate the activation of the effect, so this is probably a good one for ref players, so Wazza, if you're listening, mate, if they negate the activation, I do believe that stops you from actually using that card, so its effect to stop you from special summoning that turn is also negated, so then you can go into other plays. And something you might want to think about, and I guess the same goes for Weebrand and Dark Magician players and other cards that rely on fusion summoning. So that's it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Have a great day.